Wow. Broad question, but
To me, sound mind, sound body just means being completely holistic in just like your life.
People around the world pay attention to their physical training programs, but they don't pay as much attention to their mental training programs.
sound mind, sound body to me just really means that there's such a strong connection between the mind and the body, and that the mind is a part of the body, and that, you know, on an everyday basis, you got to be making sure you're taking care of both of them, and both of them kind of feed into each other.
It's all about just being, you know, one with who you are and like the person that you want to be.
I think it's just really about the interconnection between the mind and the body, and the need for balance in life, really.
Giving equal attention to both every day, so I know I lived out my best day physically and mentally.
A huge part of my training has to do with the mental fitness, and it's a huge element of the sport.
I constantly focus on the fitness of my brain, my mental health.
Yes, I think that people underestimate how important mental health is to your performance, because I mean, with running, I think it's 90% of the battle.
The same way I, fall in and out of shape with my physical fitness, I can still feel the same way with my mental fitness and my mental sharpness. So it's something that I need to, work on. And as the season progresses and as the races become more intense and more serious, that's a practice that I focus in on even more.
I practice mental health every single day, whether that be just doing something that I enjoy, which is typically running. It kind of goes hand in hand with running a lot of times, but maybe it's, just getting coffee with a friend, or, reading a good book, or something that just gives me self-care during the day.
I really feel that running offers me the opportunity every day to get out there and push my limits and get to that uncomfortable place in my running shoes, so I can find or reinforce tools to use for mental clarity and positivity and optimism. And for me, that's what running continues to offer me on a daily basis.
As an athlete, I think it's the most obvious and the easiest to sort of explain when you feel that.
I tend to deal with a lot of not a lot of anxiety and depression, but I've gone through bouts of anxiety and depression.
The time that comes to mind very clearly to me is the Beijing Olympics in 2008, when I really was towing that starting line, feeling like I was running for a gold medal that day. And at the 3-mile mark, the third metatarsal in my foot broke in half.
Best way for me to kind of get out of those funks, I try to find people that I can reach out to and really just lean on them, whether those be runners or family members or, other friends.
And so because I couldn't get out and go for a run to clear my head and to get a better perspective, I sat with it. I sat in my head until I got to a place where I ended up thinking to myself, the reason I'm able to get through this is because I practice and practice every day.
Whether it's a lack of fitness, or being at a new level and not thinking that you belong, or something along those lines, or just being kind of not feeling like you're up to it on the day. And again, just going back to, centering yourself and feeling that presence of mind, and kind of feeling a little gratitude for the moment that you're in, and that can kind of bring you back out of those moments.
Jacksonville 15K, when I broke the American record there, it was again one of those days where I felt like I could run as fast and far as any finish line stretched out. And those are really great feelings in the sport, but they're not the growth moments. I'll say that it's a beautiful feeling to just be effortless, and in every part, every cell in your body is in sync, working together.
All my fastest times, all my best performances, whether it's the fastest mile I've run or the fastest 1500 I've run.
Specifically, Chicago Marathon this year was when I really was in that flow state for a long period of time. And
it's a moment of simplicity, and it's really just that you're everything's lined up and it's the fitness, and then you're in that right headspace to use that fitness, and it all just kind of happens like you always imagined, and it just seems like, oh, of course, it's so simple.
It's so hard looking back to remember what was going on, because that's the flow state, is just like, your brain kind of shuts off and your body just kind of takes over, and that's when your mind and body are working as one.
I would say that the biggest advice I can give to anyone working through hardship is really to
just be patient. We're going to go through ebbs and flows all throughout life, and I think life is so much like running that, there are these ups and downs. It's such a roller coaster.
Take it day by day, and I think that just whether it's appreciating something small in your life that you can be thankful for, or a small accomplishment or a small goal you achieved on a day, and just kind of doing, stringing it together, as many of those as you can day by day.
Find comfort in being uncomfortable. That's is in the simplest terms, like sit with it for a little bit and think it through.
But know that going through these hard times are going to teach you a lot of lessons about yourself and about, just the world in general. And
we run the gamut of mental health, and no one is really optimally healthy. I think everybody kind of struggles with negativity only because that's part of our instincts, like that fight or flight response. It's part of our DNA.
Being open to those lessons and just really absorbing them, and trying to digest what it means to you and how you can improve yourself upon those trials and tribulations, or to become tribulations. I mean, that's I think the biggest thing is just really trying to be positive about just everything.
Someone, personally, I'll say when people reach out, it feels good that that they're reaching out to me, because it makes me feel like I have some value in giving back. And there's a lot of counselors out there that are specially trained in mental health that can help you turn that corner and get on that path. The fight is worth it if you can have some clarity, acceptance, and joy later on in your life. And it takes work. It takes work to succeed physically, and it takes work to succeed mentally, but the hard work is always worth it. No great success story has happened by a single individual. It takes a great team, and so rely on family, friends, and professionals to help you through it. It feels so great to work with a company like ASICS, who really stands by their founding principles of anima sana in corpore sano, or a sound mind in a sound body, and to be able to pair with the NAMI Institute, that is really just the organization that has really just reached out and helped so many thousands of people struggling with mental health at the very variety of levels in which we do. And so I just feel a lot of pride working with a company that values that, stands by that, and supports it in such a big way.